This is the most narrow pro motocross track I think I have ever rode on in my entire life in any motocross game ever. What the hell are y'all boys doing? What up, my dudes? So, we're going to be doing a bit of a track review here on the aerial Millville. Got us a little Millville out here, boys. Hell yeah. The second that I got on this track, I knew there was a problem. Half as wide as I feel like the track should be. We're talking half, bro. This track could be double the width that it is, and it would just be better. I mean, this track is literally the definition of trying way too hard to make it some sort of a hyper-realistic one-to-one scaling kind of bullshit, to the point where it literally feels like a GNCC trail track, bro. And I'm not exaggerating. I mean, y'all boys have went way too far with this shit. Like, this is just ridiculous, bro. I mean, this is... oh my god. It's one of those tracks where if you try to actually carry any kind of speed or hit any cool bigger lines, you're just gonna run into a SpongeBob. You know, the little yellow shits on the side of the track. I don't know what the hell they're doing. It's so tight that it's like the pre-made can't even like work in the corner. And one big thing I'm really confused about is the fact that, like, when you come around the first corner and you go down that really long, famous straightaway on Spring Creek, okay, the track actually opens up a little bit right there. The track actually gets a little bit wider right there, which is really how the width should have been all the way around the track, but it's not. As soon as you get past that long straightaway section, all of a sudden, the track just narrows up into this ridiculous, like, I don't even see how two bikes would be able to be side by side on the track. They would be more than handlebar to handlebar, bro. Like, I just don't even understand. I don't understand the logic behind making a track this narrow. I just can't figure it out. It doesn't make anything better about the actual gameplay of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, this track visually looks amazing. You know, the clouds off in the distance, and the trees, and the high-res ground decals. You know, the dirt and the cool, like, sand texture. Visually, this track is badass. It looks amazing. But the actual, you know, terrain and the width of the track and the overall scaling, this is absolute dog-ass, dog shit, dog water, bro. And there is just no other way to explain it, dude. I mean, they do have some pre-made on here. They do have some pre-made roughness, but, like, I mean, some of y'all boys that are participating in the racing on this, I hope you understand you are going for a GNCC Hair Scramble Championship, bro. This is not motocross track design, motocross level speed. This is just simply not that in a motocross game. That is not what this is right here. This is some other shit, bro. And it's just, there's just something about when they start making the tracks this fucking small and this one-to-one scaling. It's like, yeah, it might be a little bit more visually accurate to the real-life size of the bike, to what it looks like on TV and shit, but my whole point is, who gives a shit about that if the gameplay is 5 times worse because you made the track worse? Like, hello? I don't know about you guys, but personally, I would rather have the fun factor, the skill gap, the higher speed, the bigger jumps, the more line options in the corners, the more ruts because the track's not so narrow. I would rather have all of that than I would have the track look a little bit more realistic to the size of the bike like it does in real life. I mean, crazy me, call me crazy, boys, but I would rather have the better gameplay every day of the week. Like, bro, y'all know what the hell you're supposed to be doing. I don't understand this endless rabbit hole of, if we make it look more realistic, it'll feel more realistic. That's not how it works, you motherfuckers. That's not how it works in these dirt bike video games. If you make it look more realistic, that does not automatically equate to feeling more realistic in the gameplay of the game, because, gee, I don't know, it's not literally real life motocross. Spency Boy motherfucking on one right now. It is not literally real life motocross. It's still a video game, and on top of that, MX Bikes is not even a full-blown simulator. It's an arcade simulator hybrid, even more so of a reason why you wouldn't want to make one-to-one scaling tracks. I don't even think one-to-one scaling tracks belong in the most hardcore simulator, MX Simulator. They're dog shit in that game too. But like, damn, bro. These tracks could be so much better. They could be so much more fun. I mean, these jumps in this back section, really all the jumps on this track, you're starting to get into that realm of like some fucking, you know, milestone MXGP game kind of jump feeling, where it feels like, I mean, I'm talking, I am barely on the gas. We're talking Spency Boy has not even put the T in the gas tank. We're talking barely even blipping the throttle over these jumps. And I'm jumping twice as far as the landing. Like, what the fuck is that? What is that? This track was literally made for an 85 in this game. The size of it, the jumps, the width of the track, it's made for an 85, bro. Oh, this shit just drives me nuts. I mean, it drives me insane. So, that's their biggest problem with these 2024 aerial tracks on bikes. They're just way too narrow and the scaling's too small. You know, the jumps are too small, right? Even if you go to like the Redbud track on their Larocco's Leap, that does not feel like a Larocco's Leap. That feels like some random backyard 20-foot double. You can case it and nothing even happens to the bike, okay? You start getting into that kind of realm, right? This is just such a visual scam. That's what's happening right now. Y'all boys are getting visually scammed into thinking that you're riding on some next level, you know, realistic pro motocross replica track, when in fact it's just every bad thing about smaller scaling tracks that you could possibly have. This Spring Creek track here on MX Bikes, there is so many parts on this track that feel like they are just as narrow or maybe even more narrow than their fucking Supercross tracks. Boys, when the hell did we get to the point where the pro motocross tracks were the same width of the Supercross tracks? Jesus, Pastrana Christ, what the fuck? I mean, oh,